iPhone microphone. Speech off.
Okay. I'm going to do, what am I going to do? I reckon I'm going to do steamed veggies tonight with rice. So I'm going to prepare the rice first. I will prepare it first. If I can find the stupid thing. I'm going to prepare 2 cups of rice, so I'm going to get the rice cooker out. So I'm using that near the microwave because I think it's going to work there better. Got to plug that in. Plug that in. Okay. I'm going to leave it turned off just for now. Going to work. I think I can sit it. Yeah, I can sit it like that. But then it has to be away from the microwave. That's pretty good. I'll move this mat. Okay. Too close to an edge. Yeah, we'll just leave it like that for now. Okay, now I want 2 cups of rice. 2 cups of rice. 2 cups of... Okay. Now, I want to get a strainer out because I'm going to strain it. I'm going to strain it quite a few times. So 2 cups of rice. 2 cups, level cups of rice in fact. 2 level cups of rice. Then I'm going to put that in there for now. Actually, I don't need to do that because I'm going to use it for water anyway. So I'm going to put that aside. Now I'm going to pause the recording.
Pause, stop.
And
Button.
Wash the rice. If you want, I can start washing the rice and then pause the recording.
Pause.
Just to show you how I do it. So, I've got cold running water. I'm now putting the sieve under the water, and I'm now going to gently rub the rice together over and over to get as much stuff out as I can. Get as much stuff out as I can, in fact. It's going to take a while. And as I keep it damp, it gets really sticky and starchy because there is starch all over this rice. And I do not want a lot of starch in my dinner tonight. I just want pumpkin, broccoli, beans, rice and sausages. So I'm making sure that I wash off as much as I can of that rice by gently rubbing it together. There will be tacky bits of stuff that comes out because it's not meant to be in there when I'm eating it, so I don't want tacky bits of rice and tacky things everywhere. You might get 1 or 2 tacky bits of stuff in your meal because maybe you can overlook when you're washing your rice, you might leave a little bit of a pebble behind. But if there's 1 pebble in 6 cups of rice that you cook, or 2 or 3 cups, and there's 1 little bit of stuff in it, well, there isn't much you can do to fix that. And then what I'm going to do is, because I want all the starch off, I don't want any starch in this rice, so I'm just going to wash it until I'm sure that it's all gone, which will take a little while. So I'm going to pause the recording, and when I'm at the next step of my rice washing process, I will come straight back and let you know, because there's 2
Pause
steps
button.
to washing
Minus
rice.
88098.
There are 2 steps to washing rice really well, and I'll let you know the next step when I come back.
Minus 12 point.
Okay, so
Minus 26.97421 dB.
shut up, voiceover. I have got my rice in a sieve that I've washed and drained off. I'm now going to put it into a large bowl for my next step. I'm going to put the sieve to the side because it's going to be needed soon. It's going to be needed. Now I'm just going to fill up this bowl with water in the sink, just so I don't make a mess. Now, it wouldn't work if your sink is really dirty, but if you always do your dishes really well, and you always clean the sink, and you're really good with hygiene, and I'm not talking about you have to be a neat freak, and you have to be clean, and you have to do all these other stupid things. I'm just saying, if you're...
Minus 20.33695 dB. Minus 37.28884 dB.
Hang on, let me fix this crappy, stupid phone.
Voiceover off.
Okay, I've turned off voiceover. Right, if you're really good with hygiene generally, it doesn't have to be stupid, it just needs to be reasonable. You will be able to clean rice like the Asians do to get rid of any arsenic, any germs, any stupid bloody stuff that you might get in any rice. Now, the next step of the rice cleaning process is to put it in a bowl of water. It will soak. There will be dirt and rubbish everywhere that you then tip out. Gently tip it out as much as you can without tipping out any rice. Oh, there's bits of funny stuff here. Get rid of that. Okay, now I'm going to fill up the sink again with the bowl with more water. You're going to fill up the bowl again with more water. And once again, you're rubbing the rice together. Now what this does is this makes your rice last a little bit longer in the fridge. So when you're eating, you still have to have it in like an airtight container mixed with veggies, or like served in a separate airtight dish. But at least it's going to kill off all the germs, and all the starch that breeds all that germs is going to be taken out of the rice until there is no stickiness on the rice. And when you cook it, there should be very little dirt. The bacteria that's in the dirt, you know, because rice comes out of the rice paddies, it gets washed, it gets bagged after it's dried, but there is still dirt and some bacteria left over, so it's going to grow in the rice. So then what you want to do is really wash all that off. Really clean it off. You want to really clean it off. And you want to wash out more of that stuff. Then you want to go looking through it to get all the dirt out. Yeah. You want to get rid of any pebbles, any dirt, any shit that's in it now. So you want to do that in the process of cleaning the rice, because when they get the rice ready to package, all of the dirt isn't cleaned out properly. You have to do that. That's your job at home, is to get all the dirt out. That's the home job. Cleaning out all the dirt. All the weird stuff. All of that really weird stuff. And you know how they say, oh, rice contains arsenic? Well, yes it does. So you don't want arsenic, and you don't want germs, and you don't want dirt in your rice. There will still be a little proportion of arsenic, but it won't be really horrible. It'll just be a lot less than it would otherwise be. You know, it will just be a lot less than otherwise considered. Okay, got rid of most of, and any floaters, you don't want to get rid of all the rice out of the bowl because that's a bit of a waste of rice, but you want to make sure any floaters that are floating on the surface get taken away. So you don't want to lose a lot of rice if you can help it. You want to try and get rid of just water and any floaties. Any bits of stuff that you don't want down the sink, you try to hold it in as much as you can. Now I'm going to get the sieve, and I'm going to slowly tip the rice into that sieve again, just slowly, because you don't want it to go everywhere. You just want it to go into the sieve. Hang on, I'm getting it. Some of it's going to go into the sink, but you don't want a lot of it to be wasted, so you've got to be careful how you do it. It takes a while. Get as much of the rice into that sieve as you can. Then you're going to put some more water into the bowl. Then you're going to tip that into the sieve. Then you're going to put some more water into the bowl. That's going to get rid of even more dirt out of the rice now, because then you're going to tip that into the thing. And you're going to get around, rinse around a bit, and you're going to tip that in. Now that's plenty done. Now I'm going to give it one last drain off. Oh, hang on, there's dirt in here that I'm trying to get rid of. Not dirt. Where is it? There it is, there's bits of dirt in it. Can't get rid of everything, but you can get rid of most things. This takes ages to wash rice. It takes ages. It takes like fucking ages to do it. And even then, it's not going to be 100% perfect. It's going to be a lot better than it was. Now, that is pretty good. I'm now going to drain that out of the sieve. And I'm now going to slowly tip it into my rice cooker. Oh, hang on, there's water going everywhere. I'm now going to tip that into the rice cooker. Yep. If there's any bits of dirt on the top, I'm going to take it out now while I think of it, because you don't want any dirty stuff in it. It's like little pebble things in it, little bits of sticky starch. So I've done the best I can with that rice. Done the best I can. Now I'm going to get 2 cups, 2 1/4 cups of water. So that's 1 cup. Hang on. 1, 2, that's 2 cups. You want about, probably, well, I'm thinking of it, I'm getting more dirt out because I don't want any dirt in there. 2 1/2. So about that of water. So 1, 2. There's a lot of rice in there and a lot of water. Feels pretty clean because I spent ages and ages and ages and ages washing that rice. Now I've got to get that dirt away. A little bit of dirt here and a bit of stuff there, weird stuff. Oh God. So yeah, it's soaking up now, which is good. So you want, I'm measuring out another cup and I'm going to pour just enough in to be just 1 inch above the rice. So just about 1 inch. So when it's flat in the bottom, has to be about 1 inch. I reckon that's plenty. You don't want too much water in it. You don't want too much water. About 1 inch above the rice. So that's good. So then you want to put the sieve in the sink as well. Now, while I'm preparing that rice, I'm going to be doing vegetables. So, while I'm letting that rice go, I'm now going to be cleaning up a little bit here because I've got water everywhere and I don't want any electrocution or anything like that to go on. So I'm cleaning up a bit and now I'm going to do my veggies. I'm in fact going to get the steamer ready. So that's the frying pan and I'm going to get out the steamer out of the cupboard. Getting that out. I'm going to give that a quick grease off on the bottom. Okay. And now I'm going to find where the thing is. And I'm going to set it up. About halfway. Now I'm going to put that over on the thing. Because it wants to start boiling already. It already wants to start boiling. because the right hand side, I believe, it's the left, that's the right. I already want it to start boiling because I'm going to add pumpkin to it in a minute. So I'm going to put that on top. The little tee up for the steamer. I'm putting that on top. Oh damn, hang on. I hope that's... Yeah, let's move that way over that way. Oh, damn it. There we go. Because that wasn't on the thing properly. Okay, now that's could already be boiling. Now the rice is soaking, so I'm going to turn it onto its warm setting. So I'm putting it on its warm setting, so that way it soaks for a while. Now I'm going to get the veggies ready. Because while I'm doing the sausages, the rice will be cooking while I am doing the sausages. Okay. First I'm going to do the pumpkin. And I'm just going to leave everything else. Well, actually, first I'm going to put the pumpkin in, and while I'm... Oh wait, hang on. Got to turn that down already. So I'm going to do the pumpkin, and while I'm doing that I'll be cutting up beans and broccoli to go in. Usually I could take the skin off the pumpkin, but today I'm not doing that. I am not taking the skin off the pumpkin because I'm just not going to do it. That's just how it is. So I'm going to slice off a bit of pumpkin that I want for tonight's dinner. Oh, hang on, I can't. Bit of pumpkin for tonight's dinner, and that'll be plenty. Bit of pumpkin for dinner tonight. I might could even have an extra slice. So you basically put that in and you cut off a little bit more, which will be like doing will be like do it. Okay, so that's cutting 2 slices of pumpkin. That way I can just throw that into my thing. And that's my pumpkin ready. Now I'm just going to turn that up because I'm going to wait for the pumpkin. Well, I could just leave it, but then I'd also have to be wary of the fact that I've also got to cut up the veggies. So yeah, I'll just do that. Okay, I can now wrap up that slice of pumpkin that I don't need until, you know, tomorrow. Or the next night. I can just wrap that up. Just wrap that all up and have that in, you know, for tomorrow night's dinner. Which I can't really do properly. Oh my god. So I'm just going to wrap it a bit more. I'm going to put that into a freezer bag. And have that for tomorrow night's dinner. Okay. Now I'm going to get the beans and the broccoli. Beans and broccoli. It's actually cauliflower, but anyway, never mind. Never mind really. I can get that ready while the pumpkin is getting hotter and hotter and hotter. So, I'm going to do something I haven't done for a long time, and that is take out a plastic bag. Take out a plastic bag and use that as my veggie bag. So I can then use that to put beans and broccoli stalks in and stuff like that. So going to get some beans and wash, cut them, get some beans, wash, cut them, get some beans, wash, cut them. I'm just going to wash a handful of beans that I want in tonight's dinner, which will probably be that's enough. Oh, no. And that's plenty of beans for the night's dinner. Then I'm going to get a rubber band and then I'm going to find where I've dropped it in here somewhere, or use a twisty time. Find it. Okay, I'm just going to put it in the drop it right just like that. Oh Jesus. Okay. Now I'm going to grab some cauliflower like this. Grab a piece of it. Dig down and grab it. Like that. That's plenty of cauliflower for me tonight. I'm going to wash that. Take off the bits of stuff that I don't want in it. And cut the rest up. Like this. That's plenty. And then you move that to the side. Now that stove isn't working quite enough. Damn it. Need to turn that up a bit more until it's working, I believe. Okay. So now I'm going to put that back in the sandwich. Okay. Now I'm going to cut the beans up. I'm going to cut them up. I'm cutting up the beans at the moment, and then I take the beans to the right hand side of the cutting board and put them down to the closest edge, closest to me. Because what I'm going to do, it's a little bit fussy, but when I put dirty veggies on the board that have got dirt and sand all over them, I think I've washed them enough, but I can't be sure about that. So I cut them up, I wash them up again, gently, then put them into the thing. So now the pumpkin is boiling very well. So next in is going to go the cauliflower and the beans in a few minutes. And then I'm going to turn the rice on, and then I'm going to do the sausages at the same time. So, don't need a knife anymore. I'm just going to grab the beans. Actually, I'm going to get the, yeah, I'll grab the beans and I'll wash them up. You've got to re-wash them quickly. Then I am going to put the beans in to that, and then I'm going to put the cauliflower in. Give it a quick wash, put it in. Quick wash, because you never know really, never know. There's some flour bits on the stalk there, I don't want. And then you put it in, and you give it another quick and there'll be some scrappy bits there that you don't need, and then they will just go into the bin. So I'm now going to put that back on, and while I'm doing all of that I can be washing this thing down. So now it's time to clean up all the stupid rubbish that I've got here. And after, like, I do the sausages, I'm going to be putting the peas and corn in the thing as well. and that way I'll have a whole lot of steamed vegetables, and yeah, then I'll have a lot there to chew on, to nibble on, to snack on, whatever. Oh, there's stuff everywhere. Oh, stuff all over the place, really. It is. So now I have to clean up, and now I have to get the, won't even bother. All that shit to get rid of. Oh yeah. Okay, so done all of that. Now I can put that aside and clean up the bench and do the sausages now. Okay. I'm going to turn that steam down a bit now, because it doesn't need to be left too much like that. I'm going to turn the rice on now. I'm going to cook it up. So I don't eat bloody gluey yucky rice. Ugh. Yuck. Cleaned up the bench. Now I'm going to be doing the rice. Okay, I'm going to dry my hands off before I touch the stupid cooker. Technically you're not meant to like walk into the bathroom and use a towel to dry your hands, but because no one else is eating my dinner, I'll get away with it. If somebody else was going to eat my dinner, I would be making sure that my hands are washed and dry with a clean tea towel, because anything I do to myself is just about me. Anything that happens to anyone else is a liability. It's still a liability if I get sick, but due to me just washing and drying my hands just with me, and no one else is sharing my germs and all this other bullshit, it is less of a risk otherwise. Still doesn't make it okay exactly, but it's certainly not as risky in that sense. So now I'm going to do sausages. So I'm going to turn up the heat on that fry pan, which would be that one. But turn it a quarter of the way high to start out the heat. Then I'm going to get the sausages out. Now, while that's going, I can open up the bag of sausages. They're tied together with a string. They have to be tied together, don't they? Oh, damn it! So they cut off one end of the string of sausages, cut off the other end, and at home you have to do the rest of their job. Oh, Jesus. Oh, fucking hell. Have to do their job for them. Why can't they cut the string off the fucking sausages for me? Okay, so too. So yeah, I'm cooking up 6 sausages. Okay. Doing up 6 sausages. So, the rice is cooking, the veggies are cooking. Now the sausages are cooking. Now I'm going to use a fork to feel how the sausages are getting along, just so that I don't hurt myself. Tongs need to be released. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to move these sausages around a bit. So now I'm going to use a fork to feel where the sausage is. Move it around. Yep. The next one. Move it around. Yep. Oh, hang on. Now they're just running away from me. Oh, damn. They're not going to spin properly. And these are chicken sausages, so I can't just let them not cook, can I? If I did that, I would die. I would have to fucking die. Because they need to be cooked properly to be considered safe to eat. So they're chicken sausages. They're just everywhere here, hang on. They're just everywhere. They're just like everywhere. Yeah. And around a bit. Okay. Have to be cooked on a medium heat about there. It's about cooked properly. Yep. And look, let's try it again. So you put that there, yep. Then you grab the other one. Then you flip that. No, stop. Grab that, flip it. Yep. Then you grab that and you flip it. Yep, you grab that. Yep. I love sausages. When I can cook them properly, I love them. When I can't cook them properly, God help. Fucking damn it. So, they'll be sitting there for a bit longer. They have to be cooked safely because they're chicken sausages. So I'll be back.
Pause. Minus 20.
I don't know what's happened there, but I'm hoping that the recording
Minus 3.110. iPhone microphone. Speech off.
I am hoping that the recording is working properly. I thought that something wasn't right there somewhere. Thought something was not right. I was going to say that I'll be back when I've done these sausages, but I can't be sure of how long the recording has actually been offline for. Okay. Turn the sausages yet again. Move them around because they're just all over the place. Okay. Everywhere, all over the place. Can't get them to line up. Bloody things. Okay, I hold the fork flat over and just use the tongs to help me look at where the fuck the sausages are. Okay, over. Okay, that's one. And then another one. Two. Where's the next? There, I think. Oh, this isn't working. Oh. Okay. So anyway, I don't know how long the recording has been resuming for, but maybe not for long. So I'm going to be back when I have done with the sausages.
iPhone. Minus. Pause. Stop. Pause. Button. Pause. Minus 5 point.
I am back. The sausages are
Minus 21.40638 dB. Speech off.
The sausages are nearly cooked. The rice is cooked and it's cooling down, and the veggies are nearly cooked. they are almost cooked, and they're not completely cooked yet, but they're nearly cooked. They are on their way to cooked. Might turn it up a bit more. I need some more steam in that. It's not doing enough. Stove is boxy. Okay, so now I'm going to turn that off and finish the cooking process of these sausages while they are still on the heat. So I'm just going to flick them with a fork, turn them with a fork, then I'm going to turn all of these with a fork. Turn that with a fork, turn that with a fork as well. Yep. Let's flip over. I'm pretty sure that it's fairly well cooked. Okay, pretty sure it's fairly well cooked. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Where's the other sausage? There's 6. 1, 2, there. Pretty sure that they are fairly cooked now. So make sure that's turned over properly. Yep. There we go. Turn it back a bit. Yep. Turn that a bit more. Hang on a minute. I'm not turning. Flip that a bit more. Flip that a bit more. And flip that a lot more. Flip that a lot. Okay. Now I might turn that on to low heat because I want to keep the heat going. Just so that when the veggies are cooked, the sausages are not going to be totally not or like undercooked in the middle by any chance. They're just on a simmer fry, which is okay. So now going to let that steam a bit more. Chicken has to be cooked very, very well. And what I tend to do to stop sausages burning is you start the cooking process on high to make the meat heat up. Then you turn it down to a medium heat. It doesn't need to be roasting hot. And then you turn it down when they're nearly cooked into the middle, but they still have a bit to do. You turn it onto simmering point instead of boiling point. Simmering is like number 2 on the low scale, so when you turn the stove on, it goes from 1 to 6 on my thing, I believe. So I put it on 3. Then I might turn it down to 2. put it down to number 2, because that way the outside will finish cooking through to the inside but will not burn the sausages. So they're my little tricks for doing sausages. Then I push them back into the middle, then I roll them again. Roll, move that out of the road, roll, move that out of the road, roll, 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 roll that little tad more. Oh, hang on. Don't want to do too much fucking around with the fork, because if you do you can wreck the sausages. So there we go. Everyone says don't use metal on a Teflon thing. You can safely use metal on it. You just don't press on it and scratch on it really hard. You just don't want to scratch at it really hard, that's all. That's all it is. Now I'm going to test the pumpkin before I actually decide to finish steaming the veggies. How soft is it? Okay. How soft is that pumpkin? Oh yeah, the cauliflower is okay. Now, I believe that makes the veggies pretty well done. So I'm going to turn that pan off. Then I'm going to let that finish, and I'm going to turn these sausages off. And I'm going to give them a bit of a quick throw around with the tongs. Now with the rice, I'm going to grab a rice spatula . I'm going to turn the rice off at the power. I'm going to take the lid off, and I'm going to gently fluff the rice around, just carefully. I'm going to gently move it all around to make all the stuff go out around it, make it a bit more fluffy. Because all the rice on the bottom, it goes dry, and when you finish cooking the rice and then you fluff all the rice around and fold it over from the bottom to the top, the bottom dry bits of rice then moistens up. So you take the bottom part of the rice to the top, as though you're kneading cake dough, but you're using one hand, and you're using the rice spatula to undo the rice or unstick, or I don't know, take the rice from the bottom, and then you are gently folding it up and over the top. And what that does is makes the dry rice moisten over the top, and the bottom that was on the top goes to the bottom and moistens the bottom, and the dry rice on the top becomes moistened over the top. I don't know how to make any sense of that, but I've tried to explain it, but I can only hope I've done a good job. So the rice that is on the bottom is being folded over from the bottom to the top of the rice. Then I'm gently flattening it out. Then you just do that again. Then you just leave the rice spatula in the rice and you let it cool off. So the bottom part of the rice becomes the top part, and the top gets folded into the bottom of the cooker, which will then force the dry parts to moisten in the top of that rice, if that makes any sense. So now I'm going to take that I'm going to get a server, and I'm going to gently serve vegetables. Where am I going to put them? Onto a plate, I believe. The rest will go into a container for tomorrow. The plate will sit here. Some vegetables are going onto my plate. On top of that will go some rice. And on that will go some sausages. The rest will sit on the plate until on the fry pan until further notice. On top of that, do I want sauce or not? Sauce or not? No. So that is my dinner ready. And when I've eaten, the food will be cool enough over there.
Pause. Stop button.
to serve into a container for tomorrow, which will be freaking awesome. And I'll be thinking of what to turn that rice into tomorrow. Probably another rice dish or something, you know, another dish that I make up, and I can then have cooked rice reheated into it or something. I might just have rice and sausages for tea again tomorrow night. Rice and veggies tomorrow night again with sausages. And I've got more sausages there for bread tomorrow, or to eat as a snack, or whatever I want to do with it. So yeah, I'm out of here now. I will speak to you guys later.